The pride of the 49ers shined brightly last week as their tried and true veterans engineered an impressive victory over Minnesota. Haunted by a recent history of playoff futility, San Francisco's big play performers were finally able to break loose, while their unheralded defense played with determination and fire. And now that the critics have been silenced, the 49ers must step back on stage for another curtain call today. To the casual observer, it has not been a casual season in Chicago for Mike Ditka and the Bears. They have endured a shuffle in quarterbacks and injuries at key positions. But turmoil is part of this team's character, and last week, that character surfaced under playing conditions only the Bears could love. And when the fog settled in, only the men in blue were left standing up as Chicago emerged from the dark with the light of an NFC championship before them. Both teams have been there before, and now the road to the Super Bowl must go through Chicago, where the stakes don't get any higher. It's the NFC Championship. San Francisco and the Chicago Bears, and I think we are live for the NFC Championship game. It is cold, brutally cold in Chicago. When they woke me this morning, they said the temperature is 10 degrees. Right now it's 17. Neil Anderson, big shoes to fill. Here's McMahon. Almost picked off Bears on 3rd and 9. McMahon. McKinnon. At midfield. Gain of 4, no first down, stopped by Fuller. Field frigid, Soldier Field, Chicago. The NFC Championship.
Establish it, but he looked like he had both feet into me there, too.
Montana to Rathman. 49ers in their territory. Maurice Douglas knocked him out of bounds. Becomes a factor. Blitz coming after Montana. And down he goes in the hands of Al Harris. Just trying to stay warm. McMahon. Incomplete. No flag. Intended for Gentry. Tom Holmoe, the defender, in the first quarter. 0-0 in the NFC Championship. To the right. Montana back to throw it. To Rice. Pass caught by Jerry Rice, and look out for this one. '49er touchdown from 61 yards away. Richardson and Crum were close, but Rice came down with it.
And that was a heck of a throw by Joe Montana. If you told me today that Joe Montana could throw an out that far to Jerry Rice on the sideline, I would say there's no way. There's no way. And watch Rice. He's running it up. Then he runs back. He turns Richardson around, makes a great catch, and just flips the two of them.
Todd Crum is number 44, and once Jerry Rice gets that step, it's good night, sweetheart.
Yeah, well, Crum had good position. He just made a poor tackle, or Rice made him make that poor tackle.
Over for the extra point. And that shot is good, and so with 3:18 left to play first quarter, San Francisco leads 7-0.
That's the 49ers. They have to get the ball to Jerry Rice. And when they do, they win games because Jerry Rice scores touchdowns.
Hand off Anderson. First down Bears. The closing seconds of quarter number 1 run out. That's the end of quarter number 1 with the score. San Francisco at 7. Chicago nothing. Their uniform. Here's McMahon. Hustles out of the pocket, incomplete. Intended for Dennis McKinnon over his head. Montana again to throw it. Or come out of the pocket. He gets it upfield to John Frank. First down 49ers, stopped by Harris. Split wide left and moves back inside now. Montana gets it outside to Taylor. Montana slipped down. So before before this one's over. That footwear could be a problem as well. Pass batted away as McMahon tried to throw. It was hit by Larry Roberts at Soldier Field today. McMahon. Morris. McMahon flushed out of the pocket and chased. Finally gets rid of it. It's picked off by Fuller. Intended for Gentry, but Fuller came up with it.
Hey, there is a guy who's having a heck of a first half in this game is Jeff Fuller. First of all, I think you have to give it to the 49er defense and the pressure. They're going to come up. They're going to get pressure up the middle. Then they're going to flush McMahon out to the right. Now he has to come out here and throw on the run, and then Fuller for the coverage, being his guy, jumping up, making it really ripping.
Montana. And that's Rice. To the Bear 37, stopped by Vesti Jackson. Minus 33 degrees. Rathman. He can hurt some people. First down, San Francisco.
Now there's an old-fashioned fullback. I mean, he's a guy who looked like he would have played for the Green Bay Packers.
Second down and 10. Rice is the motion man. To Rice, touchdown.
Jerry Rice has become Superman these last 2 weeks. That's his 5th touchdown in 2 games. I'll tell you, that's the 5th touchdown Joe Montana's thrown in 2 games.
There were 3 guys who had to produce, who hadn't produced, and now they've certainly done it. Rice, Montana, and Craig.
Watch Montana here again. It's going to be a slant. He's looking all the way at Jerry Rice. And the minute he sees him get by Vesti Jackson, he gives him the ball.
And they're not going to catch that guy. 14-0 with 7:25 left in the first half.
See, as Rice comes around, here comes Vesti Jackson. Now, right there, he has him beat. Watch him right there. Jackson keeps going out. Rice cuts up. Rice knows he has it, puts his hand up. Montana gives it to him. Not a big guy as far as defensive linemen go. Very quick and fast.
McMahon gets it outside to Sanders, who's limping after the last play, but that limp got well in a hurry, and he gets another Bear first down. Who would have thought he knew where the 30-second clock even was?
Oh.
Here's McMahon. Upfield at Thornton, and he's out of bounds. Now. To McMahon. Chased out of the pocket. Incomplete. He just had to get rid of it. Intended for Wendell Davis. It is good, and it's 14-3 with 3:06 left to play in the first half.
Those are always the toughest points in any football game of your first one. I think when you get the opportunity, you got to take whatever it is.
At the end of the first half, that's the score, is San Francisco 14, the Chicago Bears 3. Down, Montana puts Rice in motion, and he goes back to throw it, and he gets it up the middle to Rice. That's going to be close to a first down. Maurice Douglas and Dave Dewerson stopped it. That's John Frank on the move, and Montana back to throw it. And down he goes, up and out to Rathman. And Rathman hammers down to about the Bear 35 before he is stopped by Singletary, a pickup of 11. Here's Montana back to throw it again. Outside to Rice. At the 5, out of bounds by Maurice Douglas. Another good throw by Montana. Wide left. Montana. Touchdown. John Frank, the tight end. His 3rd of the day. Montana.
And then with the 3 last week, I'll tell you, 2 super games for Joe Montana. And I think that was a great drive on the road by the 49ers against a fired-up Bear defense coming out of a locker room.
Over for the extra point with Young holding.
Kick is good.
Well, you remember the Super Bowl we did in Detroit, in Pontiac, Cincinnati, and San Francisco.
Could very well be a repeat of those same two. A little different coaching staff on one side, though.
9:33 left in the third, and the 49ers lead it 21-3. You play the 49ers. Here's McMahon. Incomplete. McIntyre made the hit on McKinnon. 21-3. Musters the motion man. Sanders. 49ers have it. Haley scooped it up. Montana trying to make himself heard. Back to throw it. Maybe. To the 20.
There was a lot of talk about Joe Montana. Not only being traded, but Steve Young starting, Joe Montana being through. I don't think any of those above are going to happen.
That's the end of the third quarter then with the score. San Francisco 21. The Chicago Bears 3. Now San Francisco. Craig trots in motion, and Montana's going to put it up. Has Rathman wide open. He slipped down. That's one of those guys who looks like he lives in his uniform. And he slipped down on that paint again. That part of the field.
Yeah, he's a football player.
Almost.
You know, when you just look at him, he just looks like a football player. With the kind that comes to training camp and has the, you know, the shoes tied over his shoulder.
Plus, they've gotten so much better on defense. Montana has a man wide open. It's Roger Craig. Craig inside the 10 to about the 5.
Heck of a lot of credit.
This is Rathman touchdown. And Sam White and his Cincinnati Bengals will be playing in the Super Bowl against San Francisco. And Sam will be on, by the way, in our postgame.
See, Tom Rathman ran that touchdown in there. The first guy to get in there and congratulate him was his old running back buddy from Nebraska, Roger Craig. Because Tom Rathman has been the guy that has had a block most of the year for Craig. And once in a while, it's nice to get the old blocker a touchdown.
Kofer for the extra point with Young holding. Bengals, of course, eliminated Buffalo earlier, and the 49ers are going to eliminate the Bears today. 6:53 left. Another impressive drive by San Francisco. 12 plays, 70 yards. They kept the ball 6 minutes, 53 seconds. Rathman got the touchdown from 4 yards out.
Hey, there's my guy. I think it would be the defensive MVP in this game. Look at him. I mean, he's been out there at battle.
The ball carrier this time. Bestie Jackson tripped him up. Guy McIntyre.
There's Eddie DeBartolo, the owner of the 49ers, in there with the offensive lineman. That's a smart owner. Then get down there for the guys that get in the trenches for you. You don't have to go with all those fancy positions all the time.
It was the ball carrier. No gain. Stopped by Morrissey.
And how about Jerry Rice, the guy that, you know, didn't do much for a while when he had that bad ankle. Hadn't been very good in the playoffs until last week. And then said, playoffs, I'll show you playoffs. Last week, 3 touchdowns against the Vikings. Today, 2 touchdowns, the first 2 touchdowns.
To break it open. 2 minutes remain now. 49ers in Cincinnati. 5 receptions, 133 yards. The first 2 49er touchdowns. Joe Montana, an outstanding day under these weather conditions. 17 out of 27, 3 touchdowns. And again, a reminder that we'll be talking with Sam White after the game is over, or Brent Musburger or Irvin. Last week, it's the Vikings about who the producers had to be. And the producers have produced the last 2 weeks for San Francisco. Tom Zach to McKinnon. All we'd like to do right now with the clock running down is to say to all of you, everybody who's helped John and me so much, thank you for this year.
I'll tell you, this is our last one, and it sure has been enjoyable with working with you again, Pat, as every year, and Bob Stenner, our producer, Sandy Grossman, Richie Zients, the crew, the cameraman, the sound, everyone, because in their own right, they're all first team, they're all Super Bowl teams.
So very true. So the final score, the 49ers 28, the Bears 3.